Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to NASHoles, the podcast where two assholes who like to think they know a thing or two about NASCAR talk about NASCAR. I'm Benny B, joined alongside my very good friend Drew the Man Scar Van. You guys
Hi,
can
Mom.
you guys can follow us on X at NASHolesPod, and we are on TikTok at NASHoles.podcast. Make sure you subscribe to that YouTube channel, follow us on Spotify, and give us that 5-star review. And make sure you got that notification bell on so you know every time that we come out with an episode. Drew, we just witnessed the Coca-Cola 600 on Prime Sports. It was a great race. You know, Ross Chastain wins from the back, and we'll get into all that later. But
I can't wait.
let's talk about Prime, man. I just want to say they just did everything that we've been wanting, really, to be honest with you, man.
Amazon Prime, not the energy drink.
Right.
We're strictly Hoist.
To hell with them. Hoist, baby.
Sponsor
But,
us.
dude, what I love, Drew, is, like, pre-race, right? Like, they had that feature with the pilots who do the flyover. Like, they had them interview and, like, them talking about how important it is, how cool it is, and you know, stuff like that. And then I liked, what was it? Just the pre-race stuff, thing they did where they would show, like, the 21 car, right? Like from back in the day, and then, like, the screen was split, and then it went like this, and it was Josh Berry. I'm like, oh, it's amazing. And then,
dude, I ejaculated a little bit when that happened. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, for sure.
Oh, fuck, here I go again, man. I'm gonna be like your wife's aunt, uncle, whatever they are, the one who just can't stop coming.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, freaking yeah, we don't talk about him. He's
Christina.
kind of a legend in that town.
Dude, on the internet, man. Anyways.
You can't make it up. We'll get into that later. But no,
NASHoles after dark.
Well, we're taking your calls. No, that would be sick. One day we will.
Look out, Pat McAfee.
What I liked, Drew, is that they actually brought excitement around the sport. And for this race, you know, being the longest race, it's a crown jewel race. Like, this race felt bigger than Daytona. It felt like there was more hype around it, and there was more excitement. And they really, I think another thing too is they really honed in on, like, kind of maybe the newer NASCAR fan. Like, they had Latart with that little Muppets skit, like, kind of explaining the race. And I mean, you can laugh at it, but I think it's good for people who maybe aren't so in tune with NASCAR.
Well, and the thing too is, all right, look, last episode when we were listing off everybody who's involved with it, the only person I wasn't hyped about was Corey LaJoie. And for the first time in my life, I found myself actually liking Corey LaJoie. You know?
Yeah.
And I was like,
true.
Dude, stay the fuck out of the car now. Just, this is what you're meant to do.
Yeah, he was great, man. He was great with his interviews, post-race and pre-race. Like, he asks all the right questions. I mean, obviously he's a driver, so that probably helps, but...
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is, I mean, like you said, they kind of give an introductory to the sport or whatever for, like, people who just maybe, you know, just scrolling through Prime and are like, oh shit, NASCAR, you know. And the other thing though too, it definitely helps that they have Dale Jr. as one of the broadcasters, but they also, like, were able to bring in the unicorn Carl Edwards, the man who'd been gone for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Now now you put him on Prime.
Well, and Jeff Gordon came up in the booth too for a time.
Oh my god, dude, that
was great.
Dude, and you know what? Look, a lot of people didn't care for. Honestly, not a lot. There's a lot of people don't care for drivers when they become broadcasters. I'm the other way around. I think they're probably the more qualified ones outside play-by-play. I mean, but like Jeff Gordon, the way he was calling it was like he just got done. Like he just, the last time he did was like a week prior. You know, like it.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like he'd been gone for 2-3 years. I think. I think 22. Yeah, 22 was his last year broadcasting. That was Clint Boyd. No, 21 was 21. Damn, we weren't even in the next gen car. Anyways, but yeah, no, I mean, Jeff Gordon was pretty impressive, you know, and like, I think that was on a whim too, which is cool because, like, they also don't really have producers breathing down your fucking throat either, it seems, and you also don't really have to follow a whole lot of the FCC's guidelines. Like, remember when Carson Hocevar blew up? And then, like, on the feed, he was just like, it fucking blew up. And, like, you notice how after
they're like, sorry for the language, everybody.
No, that's the thing. They didn't say that. Usually they would if it was on TV.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say too. Is like they like that happened, and they were like, they didn't say anything. Like, they didn't, like, Okay, like we get it. He swear like people are mad. Like we don't need you don't need to apologize for that.
I mean, I
It shows they get
I
Prime
love
gave
it
him the freedom, man. They really, man, they knocked it out of the park, man. I tell you what.
for real. Well, especially with like well like the pre-race video packages and shit like that, like you were talking about, and then the like Richard Petty. I can't even remember what his was exactly, but I just remember getting fucking hyped up.
Well, yeah, and even post race, Drew, like, you remember Fox? What they would do is just interview the winner and, like, they'd have stage winners, first, second, third place, whatever. But, dude, this, like, they went in depth with the post race coverage. It was like an hour after the race, they still had coverage. And, like, whereas Fox would have just ended it and it would have went to NHRA replays or something like that.
Or like down a D2 women's basketball. Like
Yeah.
it's
But,
like some obscure sport nobody really wants to watch. Sorry,
but,
D2 basketball players.
but, yeah, dude, I think Prime is here to stay. And
I
in the
kind of don't want it to
future,
leave. I really
no, I
don't.
don't want it to leave. Obviously, we talked pre-recording. Like we're gonna have to wait for this TV deals to come up, and it's not gonna be for a few years down the line. But I think we
Yeah.
could see like every Cup race on Prime. I think we could come to that, and I think we
I
should.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, okay. So I guess for the 5 people that aren't listening right now, still probably, I hope they are. Anyways, we were talking about how like if you just put the Cup Series on Prime, it's just like a one-stop shop. You don't have to like pay hundreds of dollars for cable if all you want to do is watch like NASCAR or whatever, like I would have to. And I mean, if you have the same level of consistently like good broadcasting year round, you're not gonna like deter people. But it's a weird thing because, for instance, WWE Raw, that's on Netflix now. That has fucking done huge things for the WWE. Yeah, it's not that Raw is only on, or it's not. It's just Raw like on Netflix. Where there are other wrestling programs, they're on other channels too. So like just because like let's say the Cup is on Prime, let's say, you could still keep like the Truck Series on like FS1 or maybe just like the Fox Sports app. And keep Xfinity on CW possibly. I
Yeah,
mean, in my perfect vision, just putting all of NASCAR on Prime, or it doesn't even need to be Prime. It just needs to be like one
it needs to be
stop.
one central place, man.
Yeah. And and like
But
you don't have to have the same people for every series too. You can have like different broadcasters and
yeah.
analyzers and shit like
Well,
that.
and to your point about WWE, I mean, look what they did to WWE with like pay-per-views. Like now it's not pay-per-view anymore. It's like it's
Oh
just
my
on
god, yeah.
Peacock. And so one,
Oh
you get
yeah.
more people to watch, right? Because a lot of people are going to have that anyway. And
Yeah.
two, then that just centralizes it where they know like, well, if I pay for this, like, and I'm going to be watching it, like I'm going to be able to see all of the big events. So,
Yeah. Well, yeah, and those kind of like so like when I was in high school, WWE initially came out with like the WWE Network,
I
which
remember
was
that. I
huge.
remember that.
That was huge. By the way, day one of the WWE Network was in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Just saying.
That's
So
right. That's right.
yeah, because I remember Daniel Bryan and I think Triple H or whatever were doing something in the garage, and I saw the Oneida Casino banner in the background, and I was like, oh, I hear their jingles on the radio. But like, yeah, like it took the cost of paying $60 to view one thing one time down to $9.99 a month. And it's
Right.
like you're gonna get a hell of a lot more asses in front of the screen, and you're gonna make insane amounts of money. And now they're just taking it to the next level now. Honestly, like you still
Absolutely,
get
man.
all the pay-per-views on Peacock, but now you got Raw and Netflix, and it's like you could make, someone could make the argument, well, you'd still need all the subscriptions, but it's like, well, I mean, if all you want is like one specific type of entertainment, it's a hell of a lot cheaper paying for a handful of them, a month than to just pay for like one cable bill, which is ridiculously expensive.
Yep. Yep. But Drew, we should probably talk about the actual race now.
I,
So, man, Byron pretty much dominated most of the race, and I thought he was going to win, to tell you the truth.
yeah,
And
yeah. Well, especially after Hamlin ran out of fuel halfway through the stage four.
right, yeah, I'll get to that too, because basically him and Byron were battling, man. They were back and forth, and it was
Yeah, like
great. It
all
was
night.
great.
Yeah,
And what I love too, going back to Prime, I don't want to get too much more into Prime, but what I like about Prime is they got into the battles, right? Like they wouldn't show you I mean, remember how Fox they would show you like the battle for 8th, 7th, and 8th or whatever, and you'd be like, why are we doing this? Like, there's literally a close race right now for first and second. Like,
Yeah.
but they didn't do that. Like they highlighted the important things. Like they showed you the important things. So, anyways, so yeah, Hamlin. Was it a stage caution or was it just a caution and everyone pitted and he just didn't get enough gas? I think that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
So he didn't get enough gas, and they showed it. Like the gas man, put it in, and just kind of as he was going, like just a bunch of it slipped out, and he just didn't quite have the connection on it. And they were explaining that, and it was cool, man. And I know Fox does this too. Like they do the cutaway car and all that kind of stuff. But normally Fox, like if that's something like that, they wouldn't explain it like that. So just that little bit, a little mistake for Hamlin screwed him. But I will say, Chastain still was running down. It may not have mattered.
He, if look, if Hamlin would have never ran out of gas, I think Hamlin and Byron would have been the ones racing for the win at the end. But like Chastain's car was at the very least a top, like a third place car. He grinded it out, drove his ass off all night, and what was it exactly? He said he thinks it was because he accidentally stayed out a couple extra laps after Byron and Hamlin went in that it kind of gave him like a slight advantage with tire grip.
Well, yeah, his crew chief was telling him, he's like, pit now. And he's no, like he just had a feeling that he should go like 2 more laps.
Yeah,
and it paid off, man.
Did it pay off?
But we need to talk about Chastain's team. I mean, this is unbelievable. So he doesn't qualify because, or he has to start last because of the fact that he needed a new car because he crashed in was it qualifying or practice? I think it was practice.
Practice.
So he crashes in practice. They need a new car. NASCAR says no, like you need to have the backup car. Like you can't fix this or something, like it was too damaged.
Yeah.
They stayed up until 2:30 in the morning fixing that thing, and then came back at 5:30 to finish up. I mean, that's an incredible team right there, man.
Well, yeah, and I think one thing that helped too was since they were in Charlotte, all the teams are located in Charlotte.
Right, they all live. All the members live 30, 40 minutes from there.
It's definitely it's a bigger help being able to set up a car in your shop, because then you'll have all the tools you need. I'm sure you have a good majority of the stuff you'd need to set up the backup car, but you probably won't be able to get it in just like he had the first one. I don't know for sure. I mean, this is a podcast where we think we know a thing or two about NASCAR, so I mean, for all we know, it's not like that at all. But,
all right, don't yell at us.
Yeah. Definitely don't leave any comments about how awful we are.
Anyways, but Drew, so Chastain was the first driver to start last not due to a penalty and win since Richard Petty in the 1971 spring race at Richmond. That is incredible, man. It hasn't happened since 70.
That's kind of insane to think about, though. You would have thought it would have happened one time.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. But
I bet you there's so many last place to second place finishes, though.
Oh, yeah, dude. Well, the thing about it, man, Drew, is he got up to I think it was 8th or 7th or so. And I'm like, okay, wow, that's pretty good. Like I kind of just thought he would stay there, really, in that area. But dude, I don't know what they did for that car, but he just hauled ass.
Well, yeah, and it seemed as the night went on, too, it just got stronger and stronger as well.
Yeah.
And I guess it also probably helped, too, that Hocevar's engine blew up.
Oh, my gosh, yeah, dude, on that, man, Hocevar was another guy that was impressing me. And although that did happen to him, he still is a great young driver who I believe, I think he could be the future of the sport.
I can agree with that. He's showing a hell of a lot more speed than anybody else has in Spire equipment in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel like you're slowly kind of building the team around him at this point.
They honestly might be, man. I mean not to knock on his teammates, but because they're not
Haley
half
and
bad.
Michael McDowell. Both of those guys have wins. Granted, Justin Haley's was rain delay, but a win's a win.
Win's a win.
He had to position himself to get that win in the first place.
Yeah. But what did you think, Drew, of, I think it was towards the end of the race, it almost looked like Hamlin put a block on Byron, and which a lot, and he was already pretty much done. I mean, he was already laps down or something after having to go
I
to.
don't think
I
Hamlin
don't
had
know if
anything
I
to
don't know if he
do with
blocked or
that.
if it was circumstance, like he just happened to be on the low side and he was trying to get up to speed.
I don't. I don't really know. I think Logano, when he was trying to stay on the lead lap, was more of a hindrance to Byron than Hamlin was.
Yeah. That lap traffic did screw a lot of things towards the end. I mean, like you started to
Yeah.
see it really hurt Byron because, Hamlin was able to gain that speed on him.
Well, yeah, and and I know Byron post race too mentioned that, you know, that he felt like Logano, like him, you know, trying to. Honestly, you can't even tell if it's on purpose or if he's just like, I don't know where to go. But I don't know. You'd think 3 championships, you would kind of know where to go.
Well, yeah, no kidding, dude.
Just saying.
But yeah, I know I saw that and it looked like Hamlin was always like, "Well, I'm out of this race. Let's just screw Byron because I was battling with him." But I doubt he would do something like that, to be honest.
I mean, if Byron, I
If Byron had screwed him or something during the race, I could
yeah,
see it, but
Denny
nothing like that
Denny
happened. It was just hard-fought racing.
Denny usually doesn't start shit. Keywords usually. But like, if someone does something to him, he usually pays it back.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't
But
think. I think the racing between those two was pretty clean for the most part.
it was awesome, man. I enjoyed it, man. Because for the longest time Byron was just smoking them, and I think Byron had the best restarts. I mean, and that's what it was. That was what the difference was for him. But in the end, I guess he kind of got caught up in lap traffic, and Chastain was just hauling. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's not that I think that Hamlin thing kind of did screw up Byron. So I don't want to say that Byron made any mistakes, but I think he was kind of dancing around it too much when Hamlin came up on him there when they were about lapping him. But
No, yeah.
yeah, but let's go through the top 10 like we always do. So obviously we said Chastain won in great fashion. We got to see the watermelon smash again. That was just so awesome. Got to see him drinking Busch Light with the Prime boys there with Carl Edwards and Corey LaJoy. That was awesome, dude. They were just sitting there drinking out of a cup. But
You notice how Junior chugged his like a real man?
yeah. And then what's his name? I keep forgetting his name. The owner of
Justin Mark?
Trackhouse. Yeah, Justin Marks. He just like took a sip and then he like put it down.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's kind of representing an entire organization.
Yeah.
So I don't blame him. It's not like
I don't know.
Junior
I just
where
thought,
like,
your guy wins the race. Like, come on, dude. Like, just relax.
I don't know, maybe he's like an alcoholic and he just doesn't want to.
Maybe he didn't actually sip it at all.
Oh, yeah, for all we know, it was a fake sip.
But yeah, so Chastain
Damn
wins.
you.
Byron takes second. Briscoe in third, and he started on the pole. AJ Allmendinger in fourth. Brad Keselowski in fifth. Chase Elliott in sixth. Michael McDowell in seventh. Christopher Bell in eighth. Ryan Preece ninth. And Noah Gragson 10th. Now, maybe just as impressive as Chastain winning the race was Keselowski starting from 30, so 5 spots up from where Chastain was, and finishing 5th. I mean, just after the year that he's had, I mean, a top 5 there is huge for him, man.
Oh my God,
especially the last 3 races. I mean, they were showing it. I think he placed like 38th, 27th, and like 30 something or whatever.
Yeah.
He needed this one, man. He needed this top 5.
It's definitely a boost in morale for the 6 team.
Mm-hmm.
Now Buescher, wasn't he collected? No, he was wrapped up with.
Yeah, I believe his day was done, wasn't it?
I don't want to say it was done, but I swear, like I remember seeing his car get like tangled around another car. But yeah, I was gonna say, like
Trying to look.
I know Priest finished the race. I know it wasn't top 10, but
it says Buescher 22nd, 398 laps completed.
So he was no, that means he was 2 laps down.
Oh, that's what that means.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then you had the first driver that was out was Jimmy Johnson, which, by the way, made his 700th career start. Thought that was cool, but he made a rookie mistake. He even admitted it himself. But it's just, well, I should say, because people were misquoting it. He said, "I made a rookie mistake with this car," and And that's the thing about it, man. When Jimmy Johnson's out there, like he doesn't have the race experience in the next gen like these other guys do. Like he only gets his practice in and whatnot when he can. Like he doesn't get all the time in the car like other guys do.
Well, and the thing too is him going out there. I think what he's doing is just running out there just so they can collect data, and I don't know for what exactly, but like
I never thought about that. That's probably true.
you know, maybe I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to figure out like, well, no, they can't go to a 3-car team because they don't have enough charters open at the moment. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's definitely not. He's definitely not suiting up and going, all right, I got this one in the bag. Like he knows he's not out there to be competitive for
Well,
the win.
yeah, no, and he always
You
says,
know,
like, he always says, I'm just out there, gonna, run it hard and do my best, and try to have a clean race.
I mean, shit. I mean, for all I know, maybe just scratching an itch, but I can't fault him for that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
especially because he actually could finish races in the next gen car now. First couple years were a little sketch, I won't lie. But
Yeah. Let's see what else we had in this race. Just kind of looking at the.
let's see. We talked about host of our blowing up. We didn't have any insane wrecks. Oh wait, hang on. Kyle Larson leading the race spins out
Well, we need to talk about what
the
happened.
double.
What happened to? Well, yes, we'll talk about that. But before we get to that, because we were talking about Rex, let's just get this out of the way. Ryan Blaney again crashes, due to no fault of his own. And everyone keeps blaming Suarez for this, but I'm not seeing that, man. Like
Well, no, it was the car that bumped into Suarez that caused that.
right, it
Yeah,
was well, but the thing is, people forget when they actually watch it in slow mo. Is Briscoe drove him into the wall,
Briscoe. Yeah, that's it.
and then that caused Briscoe to come back, right? Because you bounce off the wall, and then hit Suarez, and then Suarez hits Blaney, and then I mean, man, just this is a guy so unlucky, dude. I hate it, man. I just hate seeing it, and especially in that body armor car he was in. It's so sick.
Yeah, it's like I said, there's still plenty of races to be run yet,
Yeah, and
but
if I know Blaney, if he doesn't win one, like anytime soon, he's gonna win one in the clutch when he needs it,
hopefully, yeah.
like at the end of the season, regular season.
Oh man, I mean that was a heartbreaker, especially when I realized it was Suarez and Blaney that got took out. It's like, oh man, I'm so sorry.
Well, and then you said you were like I
Shine.
think this is the first time that like two of your dogs like freaking like crash at the same time or out. But like I'm just trying to look at this here, like, dude, imagine Blaney wins Daytona in the last race of the regular season.
Edges his way into the playoffs. Be nice.
But regarding that, I was gonna say Blaney was moving. He was a big mover at that point, and he
Oh
was
my
he
god,
was
yeah.
gaining spots. And so that's what it's just got to be so frustrating for him is that like, and granted, the Fords were not very fast all day. I mean, besides Gregson and maybe who else? Like I don't know. I mean, I guess Priest ended up being pretty fast, and Keselowski. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Gregson
Gregson was the fastest Ford
Gregson was
last
the
night
one
for
that
sure.
stayed right there. He stayed in the like 8 to 10 range,
Yeah.
and he never really wavered from there at all.
Yeah.
But it's just got to be frustrating when you know that your car is, getting there and getting faster as the race is going on. Gosh, I just feel so bad for him. When he wins, I'm going to be happy. But man, this win with Chastain, I never been more happier. Probably haven't been this happy in NASCAR for a NASCAR race since when Blaney won the championship.
Oh man, and you were crying almost when that happened.
Man,
Uh,
and it's funny because we've been saying Chastain's carrying this team, and he still is. But
Shut
like
up,
to
Homer.
actually legitimately carry, now he locks himself in the playoffs, which we should get to. I would love to get to the standings here, just because let's take a look at them. We used to do this every week. I'm trying not to do it every week. It gets kind of redundant. So anyways, with Chastain locking himself in, and he must have not been doing too bad, or I don't know how many points you get for. I think you get 50 points for that race, right, for winning. Well, regardless, I will tell you that he is an 8th currently after that win. So I don't know where he was before that, but he has 350 points, and I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's stage points. Well, I guess.
let's
Well,
say
I mean,
points go towards playoff points.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I mean, he's locked in. Now
Or do they?
There's 8 of the 16 spots taken up by winners. You got Byron, Larson, Okay, this is the order. Number 1 spot, we got Byron. Number 2, Larson. Number 3, Christopher Bell. 4, Chase Elliott. 5, Tyler Reddick. 6, Denny Hamlin. 7, Ryan Blaney. 8, Ross Chastain. 9, Joey Logano. 10, Alex Bowman. 11, Chase Briscoe. 12, Bubba Wallace. 13, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 14, Ryan Preece. 15, Austin Cindric. And 16, Josh Berry. So, that being said, there are some guys on there, man, who I'm actually kind of shocked. I mean, I haven't looked at this in a while. I'm just kind of shocked at where they're at. Like, I think Chase Elliott and Tyler Reddick quietly up there.
Yeah, Reddick has. Yeah, I keep forgetting Reddick hasn't won. I feel like he's won one race so far this year, but like
I thought
it
so
hasn't
too. I
happened
could have
yet.
sworn, and then I look. I'm like 0. I'm like, okay,
No,
well,
the only Toyota wins is Hamlin and Bell.
that's
Yeah, that's the only Yoder wins.
yeah. But you look at it. Tyler Reddick, 4 top 10s, 3 top 5s. Other guys that besides people named Larson and Byron that have pretty good stats. In all honesty, are actually Blaney and Chastain. It's looking actually Chase Briscoe. He has 5 top 5s and 6 top 10s, and Blaney has 5 top 5s and 6 top 10s. So man, this is shaking up to be a pretty awesome season, man. Like I want to say, I don't know. Last year, how many spots did we have taken up by race winners? Was it all 16? I'm pretty sure it might have been.
I think so.
Yeah,
Well, no.
might have been 14.
Fuck. Yeah, I can't remember.
Well, you know what? It might have been
I don't
because
know.
Burton was like the last seed.
Well, Briscoe was. Remember, Southern 500
Wait,
was the playoff finale, or
wait, yeah,
the last race
you're
before the
right.
playoffs started.
You're right. You're right. Yeah. So, dude, this is shaking out to be crazy. I mean, imagine like, I, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get like we did last year with that in terms of winners, being in, locking it in. But I think we'll probably have 4 or 5 spots maybe, available for guys who haven't won races but had enough points. Yeah, Allmendinger's right there below the cut line there.
Shit,
He's 2
Allmendinger,
points behind Barry.
dude, hell of a race last night out of him.
Yeah,
Like
man.
that is the
Really,
best
yeah,
that team has done all season so far, and it wasn't a fluke by any means. Like he was driving his ass off. I hope that pointing the team in the right trajectory for the rest of the season. I
for
mean, because
sure,
like
man.
one thing I'd love to see is Allmendinger get an oval win, not a road course win, because he's considered a road course ringer, but I'd love to see him get an oval.
Man, that would feed families, bro.
Did feed a lot of families.
I know Chastain fed some families last night with that watermelon in
I
the
don't know,
crowd.
dude. I don't know, dude. There's a poor family somewhere at a food pantry, one watermelon short. Yeah,
Well, I don't
starving.
know. Aren't the watermelons that he brings like literally from his family's farm?
Yeah.
I should have bought a watermelon today, man, and some Bush Light.
Remember. This is still one of my all-time favorite moments where you were like, yo, how cool would it be if after Chastain wins a race, if he just takes a watermelon and he drills a hole in it? And I was like, Ben, no, 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 he's not gonna fuck the watermelon. And you're like, no, drinks the beer out of it. I was like, oh,
You're like, I'm the pervert.
dude, I think about that at least once a week because
Wait, really? That moment?
yeah, because it's so
Are you
fucking
being
hilarious.
serious?
Yeah, dude, it's so funny to me. It's just, dude, because like immediately I saw what I
How
heard
funny would
watermelon and
it be
drill,
if he drove the water a hole in watermelon? And you're like, no, no,
and then
no,
you
no, no.
just no, Ben, no, 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 no.
He's not gonna do
But
that.
then you just drink some beer out of it, like oh,
And then I said,
fuck
no,
it,
dude, it's not what
God,
you're thinking.
yeah, good times, good times. Anyways,
Drew, shall we get to our favorite paint schemes?
I think we shall. You want me to open her up?
You got it up? I mean, I got it up too, but
Oh
if you
yeah, I
want to,
got her.
do it,
Oh
man,
yeah.
this is the best, guys. This is the best freaking weekend for paint schemes. I'm telling you. Besides the throwback weekend, this is one of my favorites, and it's always so hard enough for Drew to pick on weekends like this, especially when they're being patriotic. And I love how they honored a fallen veteran like on the car. I thought that was cool. And then like throughout the race, now normally I'd be pissed if they went full screen commercial because they promised us no full screen commercials, but for this, I was okay with it, man. Like they had each driver introducing like or saying the name, and like they showed a picture of them of the person that they're representing.
So I don't think all of the people represented died in the war. because like I was listening to Chastain talk about the guy that was on his car, and it sounds like he was killed in a training accident. And then like, dude, like I forgot who it was, but somebody had a Coastie on their car, and it's like, wow, like I don't think the Coast Guard's been involved with any wars since World War II.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
don't know.
like
I think
that's
it's one of those things,
yeah. So I think it might. Yeah, I think like for Memorial Day, I think they started including, which they should honestly, like guys who did just died, be it accident or attack or whatever on a
right,
base
because
or whatever,
regardless, they still serve, like,
Yeah, they were still active duty and they died, suddenly, and it's still awful for the family to experience. It's not like one is better for the
yeah.
other.
And I
But
think it's great for the families too, like, and Chastain talks about that, like, he had a picture of the guy, um,
oh yeah,
in his
yeah,
door, and like he took it out and like he showed it, and like I think the guy's name was, I can't remember his rank, or I think he was in the army. McRae, I know that's his last name.
yeah. I
And
was gonna
he was
say
talking about the McRae family, how they met up and stuff, and like talking about he would have loved this and stuff like
the
that.
put
So I just thought that was awesome, man.
the be a sponge motto on the I guess.
Yeah, he's like he said be a sponge, and I was like, I don't know how much of a sponge I was today. I was rocking around. And man, dude, were they ever, dude? I saw in Denny Hamlin's in car, they were showing his head. It was like this. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, that just looks so painful.
Dude, if any of them don't have a minor concussion in some way, I'll be shocked.
No kidding, dude.
But I guess we should point out, hang on, what car did you choose? Did you choose the number one? Because I thought I claimed that one.
You did claim it, Drew. You did claim it, and I picked the 24. But we'll get into why you like this one, Drew.
Ross Chastain, Busch Light, Aki, which we just found out is from our home state of Wisconsin, so Wisco
Yep.
companies.
So another Wisco
And
dub.
then Freedom, of course, and it won. And he was also my pick. But anyways, going to your guy, or your pick. God, come on, there. No fucking shit. I suck. Here we go. Arguably one of the best fire schemes I think I've seen all year so far.
Dude, look, Flames are undefeated, in my opinion. This one just
Okay.
was perfect because it embodied USA, man. You got the red, white, and blue. And I don't know, dude. It's simple, but I don't know. It's perfect, dude. And there was other ones
the
too.
KISS method.
Yeah, that keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
My honorable mention though is the 48 car, and I didn't really notice it until they showed the picture of it on J-Ski, because of the fact that at night these cars look a little different and they don't look as good. But when you see them on these pictures, look at that thing, dude.
Yeah. And yeah, I do want to say, I gotta agree with you. This is definitely an honorable mention, but I would be foolish to not point out this car, which was originally going to be my pick when I saw it, like last week, like in the photos. I don't know, man. I'm a sucker for white, gold, and then like, I don't know. I mean, green works in my eyes,
But gold chrome, like numbers,
yeah.
that's awesome, dude.
I just wish they would start putting more colored rims on. I give Rick Ware Racing so much shit, but I will always give it to them that they have painted rims. I've always loved it when the color of the rim matches the color of the car, or a color on the car.
Dude,
That's
can
like
you imagine
predominant.
Blaney in the Menards with the neon?
Oh, dude, look at your diecast. It should have the Menard like colored tires on.
No, yeah, it does.
Yeah. Stop sharing. Yeah, like Roger Penske used to be so big on that, and when they went to the next gen, he just didn't. It didn't follow over, and it's like,
I wonder if there's like limits on it. Like maybe
God,
they can only do it.
no, because Rick
Are they
Ware
still
Racing.
allowed?
Yeah, I don't. And it's like, even if they cost a little bit more money, I mean, come on. At that point, what's a couple $100 extra or $1,000? Just do it. Or fuck, maybe you don't even need to like outsource the paint, or like you just paint it in house.
It can't be that hard. Come on.
Yeah, and what's it gonna do? Add extra weight to the tire? Actually, technically, yeah, but
It might.
no.
Depends on how much you freaking coat on there.
Yeah, but long gone are those days. That's the only positive thing I'll say about Rick Ware Racing. Yeah. Other than that, it's God, they were making
and cautions.
really wrecked race cars, man. That's usually how the cars turn out. RWR, really wrecked race cars.
Well, Drew, I need to find another piece of paper because I filled this one out pretty well, and this is for our standings.
Sides?
Yeah, man. I had this. Let's see. When did I start this? I started this in Las Vegas. So
Oh, yeah, that's right, because that's when we agreed on the format. Okay.
So I started this from Las Vegas, and so this paper is very valuable. So I need to make sure I keep that one, but also start a new one. I don't know if I have a piece of paper here. We'll get it. We'll get it. I'll write it on here, but I'll have to transfer it to another one. Okay, Drew. So you freaking
Ah,
miraculously. Now remember, guys. We pick our drivers before they qualify, so we have no idea where they're going to qualify. If they qualify bad, I mean, well, I guess that sucks to suck. Now Drew picked Ross Chastain, and then he sends me the qualifying for Trackhouse, and he goes, "Fuck, dude." He's like, "I picked Chastain. Fuck."
yeah,
I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." I'm like, "Well, Blaney's like starting like 21st or so. I mean, that's not good, but it's a little bit better." And of course,
yeah.
miraculously, Drew gets a win, gets 40 points, and he is now up freaking 23 points on me. So it is currently 283 to 260. And I believe we're in Nashville, correct? The next race?
Yeah. Up next race is Nashville, Nash Vegas, which I'm fucking
Yes.
pumped for.
And you
I
know what's
fucking love
crazy?
Nashville, dude.
Drew, last year was Nashville was the race first race you and I watched together, and then we did the podcast together right there after the race.
Oh shit, that's right. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's when you and Alexandria were up here.
Yeah, man. But I'll be up there
Yeah.
for Pocono, so we'll be watching Pocono. So y'all get
Oh,
ready for
dude.
that shit show
Oh,
of an
isn't that
episode.
the last race on Prime?
I think so.
It's either the last race on Prime or the first race on NBC. I don't know. Anyways, we'll have a way to watch it. Hopefully,
Yeah.
maybe,
So Drew, since
probably.
you won, we know the rules. It's your turn to pick, buddy.
Well, let's see here. Now, Nashville is still a relatively new track. I mean, this is going to be our third year racing
I'm gonna look up
here.
the race history.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna say
It's actually gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I mean, well, they've raced 21, 22, 23, 20. So this is the fifth race.
oh, did they race there in 21?
Yeah, Kyle Larson won
Oh, shit, that's right.
the
Kind of came
Ally
around in the.
400.
Right. Alright, let's see here. Oh, shit.
I'm looking at the past, kind of what the running order looked like. What? Where did it go? They don't usually show it like that. Come on, man. We gotta do this. What?
Come on, what the shit?
Here we go.
Oh, you got it up.
I'm pulling up last year's order. So Joey Logano won last year.
Yeah. Well, and that was wasn't that because he just miraculously saved a bunch of fuel, if I remember correctly?
Was that race? That might have been,
Yeah,
man.
I think that
Because
was
Zane Smith took second. Ford looks like they've done well here. Let's see. I'm gonna go back to 23. See what that looked like. No, a little different story. Chevrolet does good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it was Larson. Who won in 22?
22 was Chase Elliott.
That's right.
But you know what, dude? Looking back in the past, he's done pretty good. Like, I mean, he won that one, and then like in 23, he finished fourth. So I mean, let's see. I didn't look at Oh no, I lost it. 24. I believe he finished. Oh wait, I already said that, didn't I? That he finished fourth.
Sounds like that.
Oh no, last year he did not do too good in this one. No, he finished 18th. But anyhow, Drew, who you got for this race, man? What are we thinking? Yeah, I know it's like a new track, so that kind of factors into it. The tracks, I mean, I don't know what other races they have. Does NASCAR own this track?
I don't remember. I don't remember if they do.
I don't know.
You know, Chastain's won here in the past.
Yep.
But do I want to try and see if he can carry it to a back to back? Fuck it. I'm gonna go with Chastain for another week.
A back-to-back.
Don't
I'm gonna
let
be
me down,
pissed if he
Chastain.
wins this, dude, because
80 points in 2 weeks. Suck
God.
it.
I'm gonna go, man. I'm in between a few drivers here, and I'm gonna honestly probably let me see here before I make my final decision. You know what, man? I've been impressed with. Let's see, who did I pick him? I haven't really picked him at all this year. I'm gonna go with Ryan Preece, man. Haven't picked him all year. It looks like from the sheet, he has been impressing me lately, and I think RFK is due for a W. So
That is very true.
I think they are. I don't have a feeling about it. Okay, we're no more feelings. I told you after last week I picked Blaney. I got a good feeling, man. I do not have a good feeling, NASCAR world, and he's probably not going to win. So yeah.
All right, that works for me, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just tired of jinxing it, man.
Well, I think that's probably where we could wrap it up.
All right,
Well,
brother.
hang on. Good grass or ass grass, even though it's AstroTurf.
Dude, I thought it was great grass, man. You know why? Because
What?
of the way they do the logos, man. They just do it right. It looks clean, looks great. So I'm going to give it a good grass grading.
Nice. Now I think that's everything.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for frickin' tuning in to the NASHoles podcast. If you like the episode, please like it on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow us on the Spotify. Give us that 5 stars. Make sure you're following along on the X and the TikTok. We are on X at NASHolespod and on TikTok at NASHoles.podcast. We will see you guys after Nashville.
All right.